Before we get started, I want to congratulate both of you for even being here right now, for making the best possible fight at the best possible time, when the sport needs it, when the fans demand it, and with everything everybody has been through this year, to know you're willing to do this. You're giving the fans, you're giving the sport what it wants and what it deserves. Do you guys have a sense of how much this means to everybody in the sport to have the two of you together here in the middle of a pandemic, not on pay-per-view, free on ESPN? Do you get a sense of how much this fight means to everybody, Vasiliy?
Of course.
You're good. You're mic'd up.
Okay. Of course, it's a very good, a very big fight for people who love boxing, who understand boxing, for fans. And I think it will be a very historical fight.
There's no doubt about that. What about you, Teo, in terms of what you hear when people talk to you about this fight, in terms of just what it means to them?
It's everything and everything. I mean, it's the best fighting the best, and that's what it comes to, you know, all the belts. This is all on the line, and what better way here in Vegas, just like everything else, all in.
Let's talk about all the belts. Here they are, 4 on the line. History being made here. The first 4-belt lightweight championship fight that the sport has ever had. When you look around and you think to yourself, I win this fight, I'm gathering all of this, how much does that matter to you in defining your legacy?
Then I came to professional boxing. I always want to be undisputed world champion, and I always want hold 4 belts. I was trying to do this in 126. After that, I go up, and I was trying 130, and now I close to my dream, 135.
Is there a part of you that's sitting there saying, how would I put them all on? How would I get them? Post-fight there.
Of course.
Let's take our first media question of the night, and it comes from Dan Canobio at CompuBox TV. And Teofimo, he's asking you, and Dan says, with a win, you'll be the youngest fighter to become a 4-belt champion. What would being the face of the sport for the entire next generation mean to you?
Everything. I mean, that's where the takeover comes in. You know what I mean? Takeover is not just necessarily just a phrase that we throw out there. You know what I mean? This is a part where I'm leading the new generation. You know what I mean? And winning this is that stamp and that mark, you know, to put on for the new era. And that's what it's all about, you know. And I have everything in all to demonstrate that come Saturday night. And I'm very happy about it.
It's been 308 days since you last fought. So many fighters, obviously, because of the pandemic, are dealing with long layoffs. Everybody's gone about it differently, how much time you spend in the gym, what you look like in terms of shaking off rust when you get back out there. Loma, for you, it's been 1 year and 48 days. This is something that has come up a lot in people discussing this fight, the longest layoff of your career. Does that concern you in any way? Was there a benefit to it of freshening up a bit? How did you handle the layoff?
I'll check. It's Saturday. I don't know. I never stay 1 year outside ring. Now it will be first time, and I don't know.
Year and 48 days. Any impact with the long layoff for you in terms of your training or in terms of how you feel coming into this?
I feel great. You know what I mean? Yeah, for both of us, it's the same thing. We haven't had this long of a layoff. You know what I mean? But even though during the time, the quarantine and everything that was hitting, the pandemic, you know, I was still working out, trying to stay on that as much as possible. You know, I'm a big 135-pounder, so, you know, I always stay in shape. And I'm ready, you know, and I'm more than excited for this fight.
Well, speaking of training camp, you have made the comment that you said you want a challenge that'll bring out the best in you. You
Absolutely.
Put forth a training camp where you feel like you've accomplished that. You're also a fighter who plays upon emotions, who rides the wave of what an arena swell does for you. Your celebrations alone show that. This is not Madison Square Garden. This is not Staples Center in L.A. where you've been a shining performer. This is an empty conference room in Vegas with just a smattering of folks here. You'll be able to hear everything going on, everything being said from the corners. No fans. You feed off the crowd. How much thought have you given to that?
It goes for both of us. We're primetime fighters. It goes for both of us. He's fought in arenas that's been sold out. I fought in arenas that have been sold out. you know, and we drive off of that. But, you know, this time around, it doesn't change. It does not change. We adapt to it. A true champion can adapt to anything, and that's what we come to. And my job and my thing is to have all these belts wrapped around me after October 17th, after the decision, after the fight, whatever it goes to, and I come out victorious.
Vasiliy, have you thought about fighting in this kind of an atmosphere without fans? Have you talked to fighters who have done it or trainers who have been through it? What's your thought on fighting in a fanless atmosphere?
You know, I think we need just ring judges and TV. That's it. And, of course, for belts.
Teofimo, you recently said, and I'll quote you here, "I'm not looking at Lomo, I'm looking through him." Well, now you're sitting here 12 feet away from him, and you're looking at him. You're sitting in what will be a ring with him. When you're in his presence, when you look in his eyes, tell me what you sense. Tell me what you read.
You going to do this right now?
Что он сказал?
I look at it like this, like, when we, after everything, when we do our whole thing, the reason why I say I look through him, you know why? Is because in order to be the best, there's so much more to this than that. All this, I'm going to collect. I work my ass off for it.
Let's continue that conversation in a moment.
All right.
More of Loma and Lopez live from Vegas coming up after this short break. Yes, for the final news conference between Lopez and Lomachenko before Saturday's ultimate showdown to find out who will be the undisputed lightweight champion of the world. Let's go back to one of our media questions, as we will get a question from Ryan Burton from Boxing Scene, who asks for Loma. You have fought many great fighters, Salido, Linares, Russell. Where would you rank Teofimo Lopez heading into this fight? How does he stack up to the others?
I can answer after this fight. Saturday, I can answer on that question, but now I don't know.
Recently, you made the comment that you feel like you've never really shown 100% of your skills. Why is that? And is this the kind of opponent that will allow you to fight to what you feel is 100%?
We'll see. It depends what he brings in the ring.
What kind of style do you need to be opposite of to feel like you can put that forth? What kind of fight?
Maybe. I think it will be aggressive style.
Well, you've shown aggression in the past. When you look at the clip we just shown of Loma's recent fights, some of his previous fights, is there anything you take away? Is there anything you go to school on, whether it be Linares or some other moments, what Luke Campbell was able to do in flashes? Anything at all?
I don't watch any of my opponents. I don't watch any of them. I let my coach, who is my father, and my assistant coach, they work on that, and they pinpoint everything. And then we work on it in the gym. You know what I mean? Because whatever he has done in that fight is going to be different against me. You know what I mean? So I can't just reflect off of who he fought, because they don't fight like me. So when it comes and it's all said and done, I'm not going to get the same Loma that had fought Linares or Pedraza. You know, so when we get in that ring, you know, then I get to do what we've been working on.
Well, everybody in this conference center had their eyes just glued to watch those big knockouts, especially what you did last December. Your head was straight down. Why?
Tunnel vision. I want more. This ain't, job's not done. That's how I look at it. And just staying focused. I don't need to look at what I've done in the past. I'm looking ahead and I'm looking forward.
I do want to ask you one question about landing that right hand, of scoring that level of a knockout to win a world title at Madison Square Garden. How did it change you as a fighter? Was there anything it did for you, whether it's confidence, momentum, awareness? How did it change you?
I've always had confidence.
No doubt.
Of course, you know, I mean, really what it does, man, it just puts that mark that, you know, I'm here, I talk a lot. Yeah, of course, I talk a lot, but I back it up each and every time, or, you know, and I believe in my abilities. I believe in what I can do. And but that all comes to just having faith, man. I do what I do through faith. Having that, landing that right hand and everything, I'm ready for everything. You know, it goes to show that I can hurt you with my right, I can hurt you with my left.
Vasiliy, you have, bar none, among the highest boxing IQs of anybody on earth. When you were asked about that right hand that he landed, that knockout punch, you referred to it at one point as a lucky punch. Why did you say that?
Because it was very fast after first round. They do a front, I don't know how to explain, навстречу друг другу и быстрее попал Lopez.
They were just going ahead each other, and Lopez was first one to land the punch.
What's your reaction to that when you hear Vasiliy say that?
I guess I'm going to be throwing a lot of lucky punches Saturday.
Let's take another media question. It comes from Gareth Davies from the Daily Telegraph, and it's for Vasiliy Lomachenko. And what Gareth asks is, he asks about the experience, big fight experience. In reality, does Teofimo lack big fight experience in your eyes?
У него есть, ты думаешь, опыт? Набрал он себе опыта?
He has amateur experience, a big amateur experience. Now we have the same professional record, or almost the same, and we'll see. We'll see.
Same professional record, but obviously this is a 3-division champion. This is a guy that did things faster than anybody has. This is your first title defense. This is your first time headlining what by all accounts would be one of the biggest pay-per-views there could be, obviously free on ESPN this Saturday. But what do you make of the critics who point to your lack of big mega event experience coming on a stage like this?
I mean, hey, that's what it takes to be from a good fighter to a great all-time fighter. You got to do things like this. And we spoke about this for a while now. Why am I going to go back on my word? You know what I mean? I talk like I said, I talk the talk and I walk the walk. And I believe that I can, and I know I will, become undisputed world champion.
There has been a lot of talk. Coming up next, we're going to dig into the seed that was planted for the trash talk leading up to this fight. More Loma and Lopez live from Vegas when we come back. And now here they are, sitting together live on a stage in Vegas. Winner take all to become the undisputed champion in the best fight that boxing has produced this year. Vasiliy, when you go back and you watch that, the genesis of the bad blood, and you hear all the trash talk and how things have boiled up and risen up and some of your reactions, and you look across, why do you think Teofimo Lopez and that camp is trash talking you?
No, then I see this movie. Half movie I don't understand it, and because it's not my native language, and I don't know what mean some words, what is mean. But no, for me it's just words, and Saturday we will see.
Have you ever experienced anything like this with any other fighter or any other time in your career?
No.
Of this level?
No.
Teofimo, recently, things with you tend to go viral on social media, and recently there was a video of your heavy bag having Loma's face painted on it. What is it for you? What is it about making the statement, putting this stuff out there?
I'm an entertainer. I mean, everybody's getting this fight because I'm an entertainer, man. Just many people look forward to seeing Teofimo. Maybe it's not just probably that knockouts. It's the backflips, the celebrations. I'm just the type of person, man. It's all about entertainment. I'm in the entertainment sport. You know, this is where it comes to. So really what it comes to is, man, I like to show off.
Vasiliy, I know you said they're just words. When we watched the Blood, Sweat, and Tears documentary in the lead up to this fight, there was one quote that I drew out of it where you said, if I get a chance to cause him pain, I'm going to do it, and I won't feel sorry for him.
So yes, it means during a fight, if I find some good way, make some good punch, I will do it.
Is any of this stuff spilling over into Saturday night? You guys touching gloves, you're going about things in a normal way, or any of this emotion spill over into what we see at times Saturday night?
No, we touch gloves. He don't want to touch gloves, that's on him. But I'm going to go by the rules. Same thing, we got to touch gloves before we even, start the bell. So that's how I look at it.
Media question from Curran Batia from Ask the Experts. And Curran says to Teofimo, when we spoke, you told me that you don't respect Loma and he's not the people's champion. Is there any scenario on Saturday night that would change your opinion of Vasiliy Lomachenko?
As into what? Just people's champion or what?
I assume your level of respect you would have with him, having been in the ring with him.
No, afterwards, it's two guys thugging it out to be great, to become undisputed world champion. And may the best man win. That's how I look at it. I came out here and I busted my butt, to have this. It's all about the glory, when it's said and done. So people's champ, whatever he does afterwards is on him. What I do, I have a goal and I have a vision for it.
We'll put the trash talk to rest, the bad blood to rest. When we come back after this short break, we'll talk fight strategy. How will this fight play out? What will the winner have to accomplish? Live from Vegas, more with Lopez and Loma. Let's talk about the fathers, the trainers. Let's talk about the fight. Let's talk about training camp. Let's dig into what we're going to see here. Your dad, Anatoly, Papachenko. I love that nickname, Papachenko. You've said, my father has the plan and strategy. I just do what he says every time because I believe in him. How did your father approach this fight in that plan and strategy? Were things different for this fight or same old, same old?
It's like the same, but of course we have a little bit different plan, and we hope it will work with Teofimo.
I always like seeing the unconventional training that he puts you through, whether it's playing tennis or basketball or hitting the ball or juggling. Anything new in this training camp? Anything that he put forth in this training camp?
No, nothing new.
Let's take another media question. This comes from Kevin Ioli from Yahoo. It's for Teofimo. And Kevin says, many boxing experts say that Loma's success is related to his footwork, that he's among the best ever with his feet. How do you offset what is perceived to be a significant advantage for Lomachenko so that you can touch him and make him fight your fight?
The thing is that, like I said, I've only been, 4 years in the game, in the pros?
Mm-hmm. Just short. Next
month.
Yeah,
next month, right? So, you guys haven't really gotten to see all of me yet. You guys haven't really gotten. I've only been able to give you guys what the fighter gives me. So I have footwork too. Not a lot of people know I've been a boxer.
It's interesting because I think there's a reductive argument that's made when people try to analyze this fight of simply saying, it's sublime skill versus power. Do you feel like people don't give you enough credit for your boxing ability, your overall skill?
Yeah, it's so much more than just being a strong fighter, just coming forward and throwing lucky punches. The whole thing really what it comes to is the ring IQ. You got to be smart. 18 years, I don't look that bad.
Another media question. This time it's for you, Vasiliy. It's from Dan Canobio at CompuBox TV. He says this is going to be your 5th fight at lightweight. The stats show, the CompuBox stats show, that you've been getting hit more at 135 pounds than you did at 130 pounds, than you did at 126 pounds. Now, listen, I give you credit for being aggressive and a fun fighter at times that's willing to throw. But he says, how much emphasis has now gone into defense at this point in your career and with this matchup?
No, and 135 we have a different reach, a different size. That's why we have a different with landed punches. So of course it's more harder for me fighting in 135.
And right now I'm sure the CompuBox guys are acknowledging, nodding. Yes, he's right. That does affect that. Teofimo, it's hard to discuss the trainers in this fight without reflecting on a very emotional moment we saw in the docuseries leading up to this, and when you discussed and you were asked about your father. Teo, longtime boxing writer Michael Woods wants to ask a question for you. He says, have things smoothed out between you and your dad? Wondering if the dynamic could be a distraction leading into this bout. I will ask this question along with what Michael asked, and that is, with the unique relationship, can it actually help you having this level of emotion in a spot like this?
I love that man over there. I love him to death, like I said, and I'm always going to back him up. We, like I said, the dynamic duo. So I know that they want to air this out, come fight week and everything, but I'm zoning that out. I talked to him already. We hug it out. We do everything. That's what a father and son relationship is. Listen, if it wasn't, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the person that pushed me to keep going. And I think he could say the same thing with his father. And I'm very thankful for that. I'm doing everything I can. And, they want to break me down, but they just can't. They just can't.
2 fathers, 2 trainers who crafted, who molded, who said it would happen. And here they are, the 2 world champions getting set to meet on Saturday night. But this is something, when you look around and you see these two great champions in these belts and willing to fight each other here in the midst of a pandemic, in this bubble atmosphere, without fans on Saturday night, and not pay-per-view, free on ESPN. In just moments, Mark and Tim and Andre and the guys will be analyzing everything that they just witnessed, everything that they just heard between the two of you. Here you guys are, you think about body language, you think about sound bites, quotes, reactions, looking at each other's eyes. What was said? What did it mean? What have you thought of Teofimo Lopez sitting opposite him right now for the past hour of television when you're just days away of fighting for all these belts?
Переведи.
Что ты думаешь по поводу Теофима Лопеса, когда он сидит напротив тебя, и как вот уже суббота, значит, будет бой?
I thinking only about my future fight and about Saturday. That's it.
And what will that fight look like? What kind of fight are we in store for? I know you're hesitant to give predictions. If you want to give one, feel free. But what kind of fight do you expect?
For me, I think it will be like a chess match, I think.
A chess match, okay? Chess match with a chess master over here in Vasiliy Lomachenko. You were quoted as saying recently, we are not going the distance. This fight is not going the distance. When does this fight end?
Tune in October 17th, live on ESPN. And you guys don't want to miss it. Get your popcorn ready and just enjoy the show, man. It's a takeover against the high tech, they say. And two of the guys going at it. Anything can happen. One punch could change the fight, or one punch can end the night. So, tune in.
You've done that before. You did that last December, and it was spectacular with dynamite in your right hand. I will offer you the same question that I just offered Loma in terms of the experience of sitting opposite him, a guy that for the past better part of the past year, and for you and your father and your camp, it's been 2 years in the making of saying, we're going to do this, we're calling him out, I'm going to win a lightweight championship, and then I'm going for all the belts, and then 8 to 10 weeks of nonstop training, of pushing yourself past the limit, and now you sit 12 feet apart, live on a stage in Vegas, an hour of TV together. Your takeaway of what you read on him, what you heard from him, what you see in him.
I see, man, he knows it's going to be a fight. Like I said before, it's going to be a fight. He knows whether it's a chess match or not. He got the ring IQ. I think he sees the ring IQ in me. And we're going to display it October 17th. And I'm looking forward to it.
We all are. Teofimo, Vasiliy, on behalf of all boxing fans, thank you for arriving at this moment. Thank you for this week. We can't wait for Saturday night. Of course, we will have live coverage of the weigh-in on Friday afternoon. But for now, the crew with Bernardo.